As some of you may know, it's been a long time since I last uploaded a video regarding the process of gearing up and what steps you should take in your pathway towards becoming stronger. Before I actually begin to cover things in this video, I want you to know that this information I'm giving you is all based on Code Closer's private server, so things may be different here compared to the officials. However, the information will still be helpful despite playing on a different server. Please remember that there are links of specific guides that will be mentioned on specific parts of the video and listed in the description. Let's go ahead and begin the video. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. In order to get these benefits, you can either create an account for the first time, or come back to the game on an already existing account after 30 days, which would make you eligible for the returning player benefits. You cannot have both the new and returning player benefits at the same time though. Only one or the other. Here's a list of things you can earn. There's 3 rows on the top. Those first 3 will always be missions on any type of account, whether it's new, returning, or neither. You'll always have those missions for you. Those are simply weekly and contribution missions we run daily. The bottom 3 rows are comeback and newbie rewards. You can skip equipment by completing the specific missions that tell you to run specific dungeons. The thing about having these benefits, you have to know when exactly you'll be able to use the equipment boxes they give you. When you actually begin for the first time, or just come back after 30 days, they'll send you a mail with equipment you can open. Slots you can unlock for free. These slot boxes are recommended to be opened later on. They're going to fill your space by a lot. This equipment you actually get through the mail would significantly increase your character's combat power without having to go through such a hassle of having to go step by step in the very beginning. You'll be given a core, a set of modules, and some other sets of equipment. This is nowhere near endgame, and will have to be replaced as you complete the missions that are necessary to do so. The first thing after reaching level 55, you'll need to go to Planar Gate and complete missions there. Then eventually, you'll unlock an area called Hunter's Night when you go back to progress through the main storyline. Why do I mention this area? Reason is because I'm specifically speaking of Wolfgang and Hoffman bosses. However, when you actually run through the missions in Hunter's Night, you'll find yourself earning the Hunter's Night trinkets already enhanced at +10 for you, or literally given to you due to being a new or returning player. Either way, those 3 set of equipment pieces are not difficult to earn whatsoever. If you're neither a returning or new, if you skip through the missions and you can't run this alone, you can always get someone to assist you in doing so. You'll have trouble progressing if you wish to skip missions. I don't recommend to skip through the storyline though. You actually have no choice but to run all the missions here in Hunter's Night. In order to unlock this area, you need to reach level 80. Hunter's Night missions unlock the next area called Busan. Busan is also another area where I recommend to not skip any missions whatsoever. Side quests aren't so important, but the main missions are. This will also end up allowing you to unlock the next area called Centrum City. Hunter's Night, Busan, and Centrum all have a pathway towards becoming stronger. Back to the returning and new player benefits. What we mainly need to focus on is the deep section. Here is where all the equipment lies. You either get materials for certain equipment, tuning plugs, or the actual equipment itself. What's the first thing you need to do? Well, as stated before, you mainly need to do is focus on leveling up your character. Once you reach level 55, go to Planar Gate, run the missions there. They'll give you equipment that you need in order to progress further. As you progress, you'll notice you unlock something called PNA, right above your character's health bar. There's an entire video dedicated to explaining how PNA works and what to go for. Just click on the top right of the screen or check on the description after the video is over. Now, with these benefits you may already have for you to earn, look at the deep section. You see that on the very first rows, these are actually where you would start. As you complete each mission, save the materials until you know you'll need them. Examples being fibers. Fibers are meant for costume upgrading. These will be extremely useful for you later down the road. There's never going to be enough of these. Since this would be related to cosmetics, I have a video covering costumes that you should go ahead and check out on the top right of the video or in the description after the video is over. The very top row on Deep section gives you 4 specific rewards. You obtain each of these by completing a certain amount of missions listed below. The first one being the Trigger Full Set box. Now the thing about this is, you need to be sure which one you want to go for first. Yes, first. There's 2 of them that I recommend you go for, the second one being later down the road. If I were you, the first thing I would go for is the Commandment box. This is the damage type. The reason why I specifically say damage type is because the second one that I was talking about earlier is meant for credits, which is in-game currency you can use to buy things around closers from other players or to simply progress in equipment. This trigger set is called the Prophecy box. These are the blue set of triggers. Now keep in mind, in order to unlock trigger slots for your character, you have to actually go through Hunter's Night missions themselves to achieve this. There's more to it than simply getting the triggers and being done with it as well. This requires to be transcended. In order to actually do that, you have an area called Reverse Theater. This area can be unlocked simply by running missions in Hunter's Night, then going to the regular theater when being promoted on your character. Curtains will open on the other side, allowing you to enter reverse. Now in order to transcend your set of triggers, you need to run a dungeon called Gluten King Beelzebub. I recommend to run both, as you will need to get both triggers I mentioned, not just one of them. You need a specific mission to clear the actual dungeon. Fun fact about Beelzebub is that it actually used to be raid. People would run this at around 5 million combat power back in the day. Just because it isn't raid though doesn't mean it'll be easy for you. Considering you've only just started, I recommend you to either worry about this later or ask someone else for assistance. With any raid, there's bound to be regular dungeons and bosses as well. These being also located in Reverse Theater. They drop the equipment you need, but remember that stated in the beginning, you are given equipment through the mail for your character. They're going to replace your planar gate core and modules. Due to that, there's really no need to run Beelzebub dungeons unless you're there for dailies, materials, or credits. Remember, you can always run it for alternate characters as well. As you can see, there's some Purification section missions as well. One of them gives you a suit, which I recommend to choose the YOD suit specifically. This one gives you the best stats out of the 3. Now in Purification, there's also another mission where they give you a box, and it gives you 3 devastation trinkets. This would replace your green, red, and purple trinkets. The green, purple, and red trinkets are earned in Purification. You get those first before you get the YODC trinkets, which is the devastation trinkets. The reason why you need to get that one first is simply just to get enough combat power in order to run YODC alone or with somebody else at a good pace. When you complete YODC at least once, you'll be given a box with the YODC trinkets called devastation trinkets. Those would usually be a big hassle to craft, but thanks to the returning and new player benefits, you're able to just simply have that after running Wild DC at least once. So then you would replace those trinkets, and afterwards I would recommend that you go back to your main quest line and focus on running Busan missions. With Busan, you have to defeat MsMiia and Untouchable bosses, which are located on the very bottom of the tabs for Busan. They give you bugs, which will allow you to craft certain trinkets that you can use for Busan, also be given a Busan amplifier and a module. Those will be transcended. If you don't know how to unlock an amplifier slot, you actually have to go to the International Airport Hub, and you would have to run every dungeon there at least 5 times, and then you would have the amplifier slot unlocked, and that is a side mission, so please keep that in mind.